Hey everybody, let's say you've gone for a bike ride and you end up getting a flat tire. There's two common types of flats you can get. One of them is a pinch flat, which could result in your tire not having the proper amount of pressure in it. The other could be from objects poking through the tire, and this video has to do with conventional inner tube bicycle tires. So here we have a road bike tire that has had a flat due to an object going through the tire. I was out bike riding last week and ended up getting a slowly run down flat, so I had to pull off on the side of the road in a somewhat well lit area because I was riding at night. And I had to change an inner tube on the side of the road. And of course it was dark, I couldn't quite really fill up inside the tire and see what the issue was. So I just slapped another tube in and came on home, and the tube had ran down. Actually, I had to walk home a little bit. So here's our tube that needs to be patched. Now of course you can buy a brand new inner tube, but I think patching is definitely a good option to consider. So anyways, that being said, first we have our tire, and we need to figure out where the object is in the tire. Now I felt along this tire pretty recently and did feel something in it, and the inner tube in question had just literally like a pinhole in it. So go ahead and inspect the tire really carefully and look for any objects that are poking through. Sometimes you have to take your thumb or your finger and just feel along the inside, but be careful because whatever it could be sharp. And this tire actually, in the tread, has a few things in it. That's the one thing about road bike tires, is they are definitely fragile. Okay, so I found our object. One thing you might notice is there's a little bit of a white spot inside the tire carcass. It's because well, that's where the tube was leaking at, and we have a very tiny piece of metal stuck in our tire. Picked this up on the road somewhere, so let's get that out of there. We'll get some pliers here and locate our object again. It is right there. A little piece of metal wire stuck right through the tire. Almost looks like a piece of a staple. But this is the kind of stuff you'll pick up in bike lanes. Well, I just lost it. A little bitty piece of metal. Probably picked it up when I was in a bike lane on my ride last week. That's why some cyclists like to nickname the bike lane the trash lane. And that's in case you ever wonder why you might see cyclists not using the bike lane. Well, that's one reason. So I've actually just installed a new set of tires on my bike, so we're not going to be using that tire, although it is good. Still, I could throw it on a different bike if I wanted to, but we are going to patch up this inner tube. That way we can use it again. In fact, this was a brand new inner tube. Just bought it not too long ago and had it in my seat bag, and sure enough it popped it. So first thing we got to do is get our pump. Alright, so first thing we need to do is we need to put some air in the tube. We don't need a whole lot, just need a little bit. Don't want to put so much in it that we actually pop the tube. Okay, so I can hear it. Alright, so our puncture is right There. So what I'm going to go and do is let the air out of the tube. Want it pretty nice and flat for this. And sometimes it definitely can help to use a marker and mark the spot. I don't have a marker out with me, so we're going to just go with it here. So we got this metal scuff pad. This will come in a tube repair kit. We want to scuff the area where the hole is, and we don't want to scuff it too hard, but we do want to scuff it a little bit. And I should mention, it probably would help to put some rubbing alcohol in this to clean everything up, but I'm just going to go with it as it is. It's like a brand new tube. If your inner tube is dirty, then you definitely would want to clean it. So, let's get a paper towel here because I'll need it in a sec. So our culprit spot is right there. Got this rubber cement here. This is also what you'll get in a tube repair kit. We want to put a pretty liberal amount of stuff on here. And you'll want to spread it out to an area that's bigger than the patch you're using. Now, I probably wouldn't suggest using your finger for this, but what the heck. Could just say don't be like me. Alright. Let that sit for just a moment. And of course, with the patch repair kit, you'll have patches. Now, I ended up going on Amazon and buying a whole bunch of these smaller patches, because the kit that you get from Walmart that comes with a scuff pad and the rubber cement only has a small amount of these small patches, and I need more of them. So a huge pack of these was like $7 or $8. Good deal, in my opinion. Alright, so some patches have the plastic comes off with the top of the patch. Sometimes it doesn't, but you want to be careful. Try not to get your fingers on the bottom of this. And I'm having to kind of scrape it loose here. And now I just want to apply this directly over the affected area of the tube and press in really well. We'll press and hold for a moment here. You really don't have to hold it for long. It's already adhering pretty good. Now, for a really small hole like this, it's not going to be the end of the world if it's not perfectly on there, but you'll try to get on there as good as you can. Now, for larger holes, you definitely want to make sure that this patch is on there really well. Okay, so may not be the absolute most perfect repair, but you can see our patch is on there. Now, of course, with road bike tubes, I mean, this inner tube is rated for 700 by 25 to 32C. I always buy my tubes at Walmart. Their tubes, I mean, they're not too expensive, and they seem to be of relatively decent quality. But now I should note that this procedure applies to traditional butyl rubber inner tubes. Latex, I do believe, is a bit different. But anyways, this inner tube is ready to go. It's ready to be used. Now you could, in fact, air this back up and verify. So we'll actually do that. Put just a little bit of air in it. You don't want to put a whole bunch in because your inner tube is relying on the carcass or the casing of the tire to hold itself together. So we'll put just a small amount of air in this. Now, of course, don't be surprised if you know, the area around the patch looks kind of, well, shrunk in. That's fine. Matter of fact, the rear tire on the bike over there has a patched tube in it. Okay, so off camera, I tried to repair this other inner tube that had a snake bite puncture on it. And this is what a snake bite puncture looks like. You see a hole there and a hole there. So 2 holes. I tried to patch this one and it just would not hold. So sometimes you simply cannot repair your inner tube with patches. Sometimes you just have to replace it. But this is an example here of one that has to be replaced, but the other one was able to patch up and should be good to go. Anyways, we're just going to let the air back out of this tube. And this inner tube is ready for reuse. You can see the patch is on there really well. And again, the patch was actually $7 for the whole bunch of them. And the little kit I got from Walmart, it wasn't much. I mean, they give you plenty of rubber cement in this. And the slime kit gives you a ton of this rubber cement, so far more than you'll need for just a few patches that are in that kit. So you may as well go on Amazon and purchase more of these things. So there you have it. That's how you can patch an inner tube. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.